How's it going, everybody? Random Texting Stories here, and welcome to today's shorts, where I actually kind of wanted to talk about not the aftermath, but more of my thoughts on the death battle between Clive versus Dante. The full video is out. I will try to put a link to that in the description of this video, or short, if possible. However, though, I just wanted to give my thoughts. And overall, I love the episode. I'm ignoring Clive winning here. I'm looking sorely, basically, at the animation, which was amazing. Same with the song. Listen to it on my own, which I think you guys should too. It was absolutely great. But for the most part, what really shocked me was that this was a lot more close than I thought, which I'm not arguing against. I'm perfectly okay with it being as equal as it was, and Dante being as strong as they gave him, because it actually made sense when I listened to what Mundus could really do. Because it's just the problem was, I didn't know specifically what Mundus was capable of. Same with the other types of demons that Dante has fought. And, Devil May Cry 2, 3, 4, that sort of thing. However, though, what I also didn't account for was that they were going to be relatively even in abilities. They were relatively able to use something to counter each other, and what I thought was a plus for Dante was actually not. It turns out that Clive is actually has a better use of being able to manipulate time and freeze time with Shiva. So I didn't even know that. He still obviously can't overcome Doppelganger easily, but he does have ways of being able to get around it. And obviously both of their super forms are able to obviously match up to each other, Limit Break and Ifrit Risen and the Devil Trigger and Sin Devil Trigger. The devil is in the details, because the way that they explain Clive winning actually does make sense. There have been multiple times throughout the series and the 2024 anime where Dante has run out of devil energy and specifically transformed back into human state. And wasn't able to also heal, like in Devil May Cry 5 when he got beaten by Urizen. Which a lot of people have been saying, oh, but he fought Urizen for hours in this form. Sure, but Urizen was barely trying. He didn't even get up from his seat. He didn't even do anything until he came back with Sin Devil Trigger, which if anybody wants to argue that form will just not last as long. Upwards of 6 minutes at most for Sin Devil Trigger, and that's being generous, since it doesn't even last nearly as long in gameplay than it does, I guess, in lore cutscenes, even though I played Devil May Cry 5 throughout, and for what I remember, we don't see him use too much of the Sin Devil Trigger outside of fighting, but even then it's only for like a couple seconds. I'm not dismaying Dante here, but however, though, the way that Deathbell explained for Clive winning does make sense, that he would just be able to run him down, because he has been able to stay in Ifrit for a lot longer, for upwards of 30 minutes, even more because of the fight between him and Titan Lost. But, however, though, overall, I love the episode. I hope you guys did too. And I'm not at all trying to diss on Dante. I love Dante. I think he's awesome. And, yeah, at the end of the day, I hope you guys love the episode too. As always, stay cool, guys. Peace.